Hi, DJ here with a quick build overview for my Expedition League starter. This is an Earthshatter Totems Chieftain built specifically for the Expedition encounters. My character is currently level 84. I am in softcore, but the build is definitely viable for hardcore, and I can see it being built in many different permutations, including full fire conversion, bleed, poison, one-handed shield, etc. So the playstyle is essentially throwing out 4 Earthshatter totems, letting them slam 3 times, filling up the screen with 60 spikes. You manually detonate the spikes with either ground slam or while you're maneuvering with leap slam. And that will give you a kind of chain reaction, shotgunning everything. And since it's on totems, you can kind of manipulate the placement of the totems to get wider reach. And I'll show examples of that when I throw in a map for an example. So for my gear, my build isn't exactly complete yet. I'm still trying out a few different support link setups. For example, I don't have Blood Rage in the build, although I do think it would help speed up encounters. So my gear consists of Marohi Urki. I don't think the Marohi Urki is completely necessary. I was leveling just fine with the just a rare two-handed mace with high physical damage, and I was lucky getting this one from trade. I only got it for about 3 chaos, and I was able to 5 socket it and 5 link it on my own with less than 30 jewelers and fusings total, so I was just got lucky on that. For pretty much all my other gear, focusing on maximum life rolls as well as lightning and cold resistance, because my fire resistance is fully capped just for my skill tree. For the links, I have Earthshatter, obviously, linked with Earth Breaker Support, multiple totem support, multi-strike support, and melee physical damage support. This is just getting out the most highest damage spikes possible in the shortest amount of time possible. So the Marohi Urki reduces attack speed by quite a lot. I believe Pulverize on its own also lowers attack speed, so you're getting a huge reduction in attack speed. So your big bursts of AoE shotgunning are less frequent, but your overall DPS is much higher. For defensive layer, I have Molten Shell supported with cast when damage taken. I have Summon Stone Golem for some extra life regen. I don't have it linked with minion life, so it keeps dying all the time. I have Hatred. Hatred actually increases damage by quite a bit. Just from here, I'm getting over 4,000 cold damage just from the Hatred aura. I have Leap Slam supported with faster attacks, and for my main spike detonation skill, which is Ground Slam, I have Ground Slam supported with Fortify, Maim, and Life Gain on hit. Probably could change Life Gain on hit out for faster attacks, because I do seem to get stunned quite a bit in the middle of my attacks trying to blow up the spikes. I sometimes get stunned and I have to leap slam out, and the leap slam detonates everything. For my flasks, I have bleed immunity on my life flask. I have ignite immunity on my quartz flask, freeze immunity on my quicksilver flask, and that with is that an enkindling orb? No, the other one. Oh, shit, I don't have it. I don't forget what it's called. But I have that triggering automatically when I become frozen, so that's perfect. And on my granite flask, I have... This one's really important. On my granite flask, I have immunity to poison and 22% reduced charges. So I can use this 3 times during expedition encounters before I have to charge it back up, which is very good. Like, I think this build dies mostly to the poison on expedition encounters. And for the Corundum Flask, I have just increased armor and duration. Pretty basic flask setup, nothing too special here. Again, this build doesn't need any uniques to function. This is entirely possible with just rares. The only unique in this whole build is Marohi Urki, and just because it's such high damage. For the skill tree, of course, I am ascended into Chieftain. this is kind of what the... Here, you know what? I'll bring in the Path of Building so you can see what it's supposed to look like at level 100. So, starting here with melee damage, if this was in hardcore, I would probably start Life and Armor. I basically rushed Ancestral Bond to have that available for normal lab. The next was I was just getting all of the life stuff that I could, extending out this way first, extending out to all of the life nodes around here, and then picking up all of the AoE mace nodes along the way. AoE is very important for this build, especially during expedition encounters, because there's monsters everywhere. For the keystone nodes, obviously Ancestral Bond. I have Resolute Technique because there's this build isn't critting, so I might as well get it. And because the totems themselves are really expensive in terms of mana costs, I have Blood Magic and Mortal Conviction, so I'm running a free aura, which is Hatred, because again, it's the highest damage possible. For the Ascendancy, like the Order of the Ascendancy, I got the Fire Resistance one first, and then Tukahama War's Herald, and then Moon's Presence. For the fourth Ascendancy, once I do Uber Lab, I'm not 100% on which one I'm going to take, although it's probably going to be Flames Advance, because that is just an obscene amount of extra damage. Even with like the fire conversion, I think that's fine. It might even make expedition encounters more versatile, because even if I get physical immunity by accident, I still have half of my damage as fire and a little bit of cold, so I can still get some through. So I could take cold immunity, I could take fire immunity, and I could take physical immunity, just not all three at the same time. Yeah, probably wouldn't leave just cold, because it would be the lowest. It's pretty low compared to everything else, but yeah, Flames Advance is probably what I'm going to do. So that's pretty much it for the overview. I find this build is best explained visually, so we'll go in and we'll find an expedition encounter, just so you can... Wasted a portal. I can't believe I just did that. We're gonna go in and we're gonna find an expedition encounter so you can see my process on how I approach them with this build. Again, this build is super slow, but the AoE on this is absolutely insane. Here, so the spikes come out, slam, everything's dead. It's a lot of setup, and you have to be okay with playing an infrequent bursty build. But the sustain on this is really good. The damage on this is really good. It being totems, like, you can position yourself really well on the map. It's just great. The bursts have a lot of damage. I'm not even bursting properly. Like, I would have to wait for all the spikes. Like, that's 60 explosions. It's a lot. It's quite a bit. All right, let's see if we can find that expedition encounter and try to not die in the process. Also, just as a quick side note, I've found that Leap Slam is getting me stuck in walls. And I don't know if it's just me. If anyone else is experiencing that, please let me know in the comments. Okay, there's the expedition encounter, so we'll just clear this out and we'll get that started. Nice. It's pretty good with single rares as well. It being enclosed like this is really nice. I didn't even realize what map I took, but this is the perfect environment for this because the spikes stop right at the walls. So when you have a whole room full of them, like, the overlap in shotgunning is crazy. This build can handle picking up almost every modifier in an encounter like this. Not during logbooks though, because you can pick up a lot. And I've hit physical immunity by accident so many times. Right, okay, so here's the physical immunity one down here that I'm not gonna get. Drop by monsters, excavated chests. So I like looking for runic monster stuff, just because the spell's really good at fighting them. Okay. How far can we go with our first one? All right, so we'll just do this. So this one is kind of hard to deal with, the regenerate 30% of life over 1 second. You essentially just have to do damage fast enough. If you you can time your bursts with their heals to kind of counteract them. But yeah. Let's see, monsters have 100% increased critical strike chance. That's fine. Monsters hit remove 10% of current energy shield. It's okay. That's perfect. Because I don't have energy shield or mana on this build. We'll just grab that runic monster. And, oh, we don't have a straight line. We'll do that. Perfect. We'll grab that. And we'll grab this and not the physical immunity one. Because as soon as I hit the physical immunity one, it just can't handle it. All right, so prepare for FPS to absolutely tank. You know, see, like, I'll kind of separate the totems like this. And we get just a huge screen, multiple screens of explosions here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Some of these are definitely dangerous. Oh yeah, you don't want to... That's bad positioning on my part. You definitely don't want to put yourself in that kind of situation. But yeah, the leech is really reliable. You get fortify as you're blowing up the spikes. Handles these expedition encounters really well. As long as your graphics card doesn't melt from all the particle effects. Also, pro tip: put on dynamic culling if you have a more of a budget GPU. Should help with performance at least a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole build. I might make another build, more in-depth build guide for this once I have everything exactly figured out, but this is just what I've been playing for the last week and a bit. Yeah, really fun. Honestly, one of the most fun builds that I've created, that I've played ever in Path of Exile. I know the slam meta is kind of a meme, but it's really good. If you want to see me play this live, I'm going live as soon as this video is uploaded. So you can see me on twitch.tv/DG, which is going to be, I'll put a link in the description, and I'll also try to put this, the Path of Building on Pastebin. So there'll be a link to that in the comments as well. I don't have it separated into levels, so you just kind of essentially just get all the HP nodes before you hit maps, and well, at least most of the HP nodes before you hit maps, and some of the AoE mace nodes, and then you should be fine. The damage on this is fantastic regardless. Yeah, there are 3 trees. There's one for this build. There's one for this build for hardcore, so just one with a little bit more life. And there is one that I haven't tested. I haven't really edited it much, but it's the 3rd skill tree on there is a full fire conversion version of this build. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks for checking out the build. Again, if you want to see me live, you can head over to my Twitch channel. Right now I should be live. All right,